Hi teacher Paul, guess what?
Oh, hi Tomoko, long time no see. What's up?
Well, last week I could pass my TOEFL exam.
Okay, but did you?
Did I what?
Or didn't you? This is the sort of confusion that comes from something I call English weirdness. English is a highly irregular language. There are strange rules, exceptions to rules, idiomatic structures, figurative expressions, odd spellings, and lots of just plain weirdness. All of this irregularity makes English a challenging language to learn. But it also makes English incredibly creative. Because it doesn't have to follow its own rules so strictly, it has great flexibility. Maybe this is why there's been so much great English poetry, literature, drama, and music lyrics, as well as all that interesting slang you love to use, but may not fully understand. I'm Teacher Paul, and there's nothing I like more than helping students and other teachers understand English weirdness. So, if you want to learn how to communicate in English better, and you're ready to explore English weirdness, let's break it down. So Tomoko, you said last week I could pass my TOEFL exam, right?
Yes, is it wrong, teacher?
Well, it's ambiguous. In other words, it has more than one possible meaning, and I couldn't understand your meaning.
I see.
When we communicate, do we want to be ambiguous?
No, we want to be clear.
Exactly. So let's take a look at what's going on here. It's clear you're referring to something in the past tense. You have last week here to indicate past time. However, in an English sentence, how do we show tense?
With the verb.
Exactly. And what tense is your verb in?
Base form, infinitive.
Exactly.
That's weird.
It is weird. It's English weirdness.
But teacher, could. It's past tense.
Almost. It's the past form of the modal can, but it isn't really the verb. Past is. And we just said that it's the verb's job to show us tense. But here, the verb isn't doing that. It's not showing us tense. Therefore, the verb isn't doing its job.
But could means ability, right? Don't I need to express the ability?
Good question. Do you? We know that the modals fit here, before the verb, and that they change the meaning of the verb a little bit. And we know from an earlier lesson that whenever we use a modal, the verb must be in base form. And you're right, could expresses ability, but it doesn't express tense. And the verb isn't doing that, so we don't actually know what happened in the past. Maybe something, maybe nothing. You're simply saying that in the past, last week, you had the ability to pass. We don't know if you actually did. Now try saying this sentence by tensing the verb.
Last week, I could pass my TOEFL exam. Teacher, you said after the modal, the verb must be in base form. So how can we use could plus past?
Simple. We can't and we don't. Delete could, and what do we have?
Last week, I passed my TOEFL exam.
And did you have the ability?
Yes.
Yes, now we know what actually happened because the verb is in past tense. So this single positive action clearly happened. And if you passed it, you clearly, obviously, had the ability to. If something happens in the past, it was able to happen. Can you think of any action that can happen in the past that does not require ability?
No, I can't.
Me neither. You passed the exam, so you clearly had the ability to do so.
You mean we don't need could?
In fact, we can't use it. Using it requires that we put the verb in base form.
Last week I passed.
So let's see if we can derive a rule for this. If a single positive action happens in the past, don't use could. Use past simple. It says everything clearly.
A single positive action in the past, don't use could. But teacher, earlier you said I couldn't understand your meaning. You used could plus base form.
Good point, Tomoko. Well, it's simple, really. We agreed that the verb's job is to express past tense. But here, something different is happening. This is a negative sentence. Therefore, the verb has no obligation, no duty to express past tense.
Why not, teacher?
Simple, because nothing happened in the past. There was no action. I could not understand, so there was no past action of understanding.
Yes, I see it now. This is a single negative action in the past.
I know, cool, huh? What about positive actions in the past that are not single? For example, finish this sentence. When I was a child, I could
practice dancing all day long.
That's not a single action, is it?
No, it's like many times, often.
Yes, an ongoing or repeated action. When I was a child, I could see my friend's house through my window. That's not a single action, is it?
No.
Okay, now, there are times when we want to emphasize the ability rather than the action. For instance, if you had tried many times to pass the TOEFL exam and could not, clearly your lack of ability is important. Then, let's say one day you finally pass.
I could pass. Huh?
Let's try this instead. Look here. We have a past tense verb in was, and we have this phrasal modal able to, which clearly expresses and emphasizes ability. So it satisfies the rule. We have both past time represented and the ability emphasized.
So I should say I tried it 4 times, then last week I was finally able to pass my TOEFL exam.
Congratulations, Tomoko. Good job. And remember, to express a single positive action in the past, don't use could. Use past simple.
Wow, Teacher Bo, English sure is weird. It really is weird. English weird is weird. English sure is weird.
It sure is.
But it's really cool.
I agree. English is weird, but it's cool. And weirdness is cool.